everyone, and welcome to ESO Weekly for September the 27th. I am Kyle, and with me as always is my dear brother, Joshua.
Yes, I am Josh. Hello, people. Welcome to the show.
And if you're not familiar, this is the ShoddyCast channel. Hey, what's up? Alright, anyways.
Wow, I hate you right now.
This week, we have some things to go through, starting with the Ask Us Anything article on, well, lore.
Lore, yeah, look at that. I'm rubbing myself as we speak with all the good lore goodies.
So yeah, there's a bunch of little tidbits there for the lore aficionado, which I actually wrote there on the
yeah, they
outline.
prefer lore master.
Lore
master.
Whatever. You have to actually master the lore to be that. So
Yeah, I would.
If you at least enjoy lore, then you're aficionado.
It's kind of like very pompous calling yourself a master. I'm a lore master.
Because
like,
I read a few wiki articles.
Did you take a test or get a degree? I don't understand.
I can see that being a degree someday.
That would be awesome.
History of gaming and lore.
I actually think that they have that. I heard of some college doing a class.
Are you sure you're not just talking about like that high school video game high school?
No. That I love VHS though, or is it? Yeah, VGHS. Yeah, that's a great series. But no, there's actually a course that you can go, and it talks about how Skyrim relates to Nordic mythology, Norse mythology, and stuff like that. It's very cool.
Interesting.
Very cool. That's a real thing.
I'm assuming that's an elective. So, all right. Also, we have a Eurogamer interview that was with my favorite developer. Maria Aliprando.
Oh, yeah. Okay. We're going to go the adolescent route with this. Okay.
And finally, we have a new old monster being introduced. The Clanfear or Clanfur,
yes,
however you want to say it.
The dinosaurs. They are not extinct.
Right.
As you learned in Oblivion. Okay. So
let's start off with the Ask Us Anything on lore. This was an interesting article. I guess I'll just go through some of the things that people might be interested in. But just keep in mind that there's other stuff that we won't talk about that was in the article, so please go back and reread it if you are interested in the lore of ESO. First things first, Orsinium will be an ESO. It'll be in the process of being rebuilt by the orcs once again, because it's been destroyed like 15,000 times, and it's being ruled by King Kurog. That's pretty much all I have to say about that.
Yeah, they talked about how those orcs, although there are orc strongholds scattered throughout the land, and you're definitely going to encounter them outside of Orsinium, these orcs actually want to have a lasting home for themselves, and that's always been the dream of Orsinium, this lasting home for the orcs, but as we've learned, it hasn't always worked out for them, and I'm sure they'll mention that in-game.
Right, so keep in mind there's the orcs of the strongholds, which, like you said, will be spread throughout northern Tamriel mostly, and then there are the orcs of Hrothgar, which are the ones that actually want to have a place of their own, a designated city, which would be Orsinium.
They're team players.
Yep, and they are with the Daggerfall Covenant, whereas the Stronghold orcs are not.
Yeah.
Yep. And then let's see, the Forsworn of Skyrim, which we're used to seeing Beyond the Reach, right? In the Reach, they were formerly Bretons. They were actually formerly Reachmen, who were formerly Bretons. And the Reachmen will be in ESO, where the Forsworn, I don't think, will have a role in ESO.
Yeah.
There may be a few here and there, but it's the Reachmen mostly.
I think what they said, that the Forsworn were not a thing at this time. Like, they weren't around. They were the Reachmen, and the Forsworn is like a sect within the Reachmen that come later on in the mythos or whatever. So right now they're called the Reachmen, but they have that I'm sure they're gonna have that tribal thing going on with them and stuff.
Like tattoos on their faces.
And wearing all sorts of crazy, nasty looking furs too. They wore like
it's kind of ratty.
Like they would skin rats and wear rat furs instead of like the nice bear furs or whatever.
Yep, the Adamantine Tower, or the Direni Tower.
Direni,
which is the oldest structure in Tamriel, right?
The oldest.
That predates pretty much everything.
Yeah, it was rumored that the gods, when they first formed Nirn, so the Aedra, actually, sat in their place at the old Adamantine Tower and decided the fate of a newly born planet called Nirn, and it was very epic. And well, it's not confirmed; it's myth, but
But it will be an ESO.
Interesting. And it will be an ESO. Yeah,
we will see it, but it's unknown if we'll actually be able to travel to it yet.
Yeah.
Hopefully, though, we will.
It sounds like it might be something they might you might be able to see it
Introduced later on.
but you'll like drown if you try to swim to it or something like that. And it'll be something they'll unlock later on. I hope they really flesh it out because, you know, it's
Make it
the
an
home.
event.
Well, it's the home of the, Clan Durrani and all them. That place has got to be full of magic.
Mm-hmm.
It's just got to be full. It's like the Hogwarts of of the Elder Scrolls universe. Not really, but we can say that. We'll say it is.
We'll go with that.
So it would make for a very interesting place to explore.
All right, something we are particularly interested in this week, because we have our Khajiit lore episode coming out Saturday.
Plug.
Yes,
Little-
shameless plug there.
Totally shameless.
We will actually be able to witness and actually be involved in the choosing of the next main for the Khajiit.
Yeah,
in ESO.
From what I understand and how they worded it, is that throughout your adventures and elsewhere, throughout the quest lines, you're going to the selection of the next main, which for people who aren't familiar, you're going to find out about it in the lore video. But for now, look at him as the Pope. He's the Pope of Elsewhere. He's the spiritual leader of Elsewhere. The quest line is going to go about choosing the next main and how that process exactly works. And we're going to get to see it firsthand in our gameplay.
Are we going to see a cousinette Khajiit? Because they like cut off their actual fur, the other Khajiit, and kind of like paste it on the main. So I wonder if we're going to see a little cousinette walking around. For those who even get an Addams Family reference. All right, and actually that was pretty much it for that lore article, but like we said before, there's stuff that we didn't talk about because it was very specific. So if you are interested in the lore of ESO, go and head over to that article. And now, time for the Eurogamer exclusive interview with Maria Aliprando.
Why do you say it like that?
I don't know.
Exclusive!
You gotta make
Sunday, Monster Truck Rally.
Because I'm an announcer, goddammit. So anyways, the main thing here that I took away from it is that they're going to have an aggressive post-launch schedule.
Yes.
So that will involve like the Emperor or the Imperial City, which of course is in Cyrodiil. That's pretty much what we're fighting over. So they're going to be, I guess, slowly unlocking that. Hopefully have some kind of event system going on. So that'll be interesting. They also have the justice system, of course, which has to do with the whole stealing stuff, basically, which at launch, you can basically just take anything. If it's there and no one else has swiped it yet, go ahead and grab it because there's going to be no repercussions yet. But later on, they will introduce the justice system, which I'm assuming if you steal something in the sight of another person, you'll be thrown in jail or charged or killed.
You violated the law. Pay the court a fine or serve your sentence. Your stolen goods are now forfeit. Anyone who played Oblivion.
Yeah, I was going to say that definitely sounded like
extremely familiar with that line.
Is that an Imperial Guard?
Every time. Pick up a pumpkin. Stop! You violated the law. Move some tweezers around. Stop! You violated the law. Everything's the same. But yeah, so for those who aren't familiar with exactly how MMOs work and things like that, what most developers will do when they go to launch their game, they'll launch the base game, right? So that's the copy you're actually going to pick up at Walmart. And you put it in and you get all that content from day one. With a subscription, of course. But the subscription goes to ensure that the game's going to continue on and get patches. So what a lot of devs like to do is have their whole, and this is probably what ESO is doing, at least from what they're saying here, they're going to have a patch in the chamber ready to go.
Yep.
And what you're going to see is the game's going to first launch, and a month or two later, maybe 3 months, I think within that 3-month window tends to be...
I definitely think within the 3 months.
Yeah, that's
not the first month.
Yeah, that tends to be the window for a lot of these developers. They like to know that, okay, we're here, we're adding content. So they'll have that in the chamber ready to go. And yeah, a month in or a month two into the game, you're gonna see a patch drop, and it's gonna add some things. So, and that's what you get to look forward to in an MMO. You know, this is going to be, and one of the reasons I'm looking forward to this game, it's going to be that never-ending Elder Scrolls game. You have a team of developers that are dedicated to the continuation of this. It isn't only a modding community, but professional developers sitting here paid each and every day to make content for this game as the months continue, even after launch. Yep. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And a crime system, although I said, and I will continue to say, that a crime system should be in the game at launch, because it is one of those, it is right there with first person, in that it's a very big part of the Elder Scrolls, and having that freedom and choice to do what you want, pushing the boundaries of what you can do in a game. I do appreciate that they are working on it, and they're going to have it for us, even if it's going to be, a month or two after launch or whatever.
But in the meantime, at least they're letting us steal stuff.
They're letting us take
rummage
stuff
through people's
letting us
belongings
take stuff.
and
There's
just take stuff off tables.
just no consequences at the moment.
And don't forget the Thieves Guild and the Dark Brotherhood, of course, will also be a post-launch item. So I can't wait for that. I want to see what the Dark Brotherhood's going to do.
I hope they, it's post-launch, so they're going to take their time with it, and I hope they flesh it out and push it out only when it's ready, not when people are just screaming that they want content.
Agreed.
When it's nice and ready to be released.
Yep. Now, an interesting thing, and I know y'all are going to be like, oh, this again, but Maria had confirmed that first-person view was actually implemented due to feedback. Now, there was this whole argument as to whether first person was actually already planned for the game and all this stuff. So what had happened was there was a prototype for the first person view, but it was not working. So they had pretty much just scrapped it and said, we're not going to release the game with first person view at all. But due to feedback from beta testers and people at the events and stuff that had played it, they said that they really wanted a first person view. And we didn't have anything to do with the nerd rage that was going on at all.
Well, what happened was they dropped that article that was like, look, there's not going to be true test first person in the game, and everyone covered it. Of course, that was like the topic of the week for all the podcasts and ESO fan sites, and so the community became very, very aware of that very quickly. The nerd rage ensued, and they did what a good developer should do and listen to that feedback. And then they decided okay, this was scrapped before. Now we're going to implement a true first person because it is something people really, really want. And it's something at the end of the day is going to sell more copies of their games. And the reason we wanted to point this out in that interview with Eurogamer is because, hey, they're a development team that listens to their fan base. That's,
heck yeah!
Yeah, that's a very good thing. That's a very good habit to have, especially moving forward to the launch of a MMO title as anticipated and overhyped as this one. So.
And one of the reasons for scrapping it was because one, it wasn't working, and two, because they were saying we've talked about this before, how in test games we're used to monsters spawning in front of us and only in front of us for the most part, whereas in MMOs. Things spawn all around you. I mean, they just respawn, something could be behind you, and you won't see it because you're in first-person view. So that's why they had introduced their notification system, which is really cool because you'll see a little red indicator around your reticle that'll show the direction that you're being attacked from, and you'll see that in gameplay and stuff.
If you've ever played a shooter and somebody shoots you from the left of you, you see a little indicator on your screen that shows you're taking damage from the left. So hey, maybe I should turn to my left and face the guy that's trying to murder me. That's pretty much what they added in the game. And, that came about because, they needed to find a way to make first person work because they realized, wait a second, this is a thing that's extremely important to the crowd we're trying to appeal to. So, the feedback only helped them realize that, okay, the first person, although it didn't work before, we need to try to find a way to make it work. And they most certainly did. I mean, every article I've read personally coming out of any playtest with ESO, all the reviewers and stuff say the same exact thing on all these sites. They say, I played ESO, one of the first events with the alpha build, and it just wasn't my thing. It felt like an MMO, didn't get that Elder Scrolls vibe. But now, and they always mention first person, now that I'm playing it with the first person in the new build, oh man, it feels that much better, and I'm interested in it again. And that's exactly what it did. It drove more people to the game, and more people are excited for it.
Yeah, and if you've watched previous first person gameplay, you'll see that the weapons kind of look odd. They're pretty low textured, low res textured. I had commented on that before, but she did confirm that they will be adding high-res textures. They just haven't been implemented yet. So
you think
look forward to that, and it'll look good.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a great point that Force from Force Strategy has always pointed out, is the fact that this game has been in development for years now. I think, how long has this been?
5 years.
5 years in development. And this first person has only come around in
past 6 months, maybe, if that.
Yeah, if that. Maybe 6 months that they've actually been really knuckling down on this first-person thing, and so what they have now is pretty amazing in the short time they've been able to work with it. But yeah.
Now, this was a great quote, and this kind of harkens back to the whole thing you were saying about how people were saying it doesn't feel like an Elder Scrolls game, or it didn't, until first person was added. This is a quote from Maria. She said, "It needs to be an Elder Scrolls game. If it's not an Elder Scrolls game, then what's the point?" I mean, that's like a great just tie in there.
Yes, I'm going to post that on my mirror so I look at it every morning when I wake up. That quote is beautiful.
And she also says, is like, so that kind of harkens to the whole test fan base. But then for the MMO crowd, it's ESO's going to be different because it's tactics based and not rotation based. Where with other MMOs, we're used to having like all our skills available to us, and it comes down to just how you do that rotation. You have all your skills line up perfectly, so you can put that whole rotation down on one enemy, and then it's dead basically. Whereas here, you're going to have specific targets that you need to use a very specific tactics on to defeat them properly. Otherwise, you could get wasted, and it'll be different like every time. So
yeah,
that's why you have tons of skills at your disposal, but you can only equip so many. So you have to have those tactics there for you. So that's pretty cool. And reaching level 50, she says, will only max out around 30% of your skills.
Right, approximately, depending on how many like sky shards you find along your way and stuff. I guess that's just an average.
Yeah, this is about an average. Yeah, and she says that the rest would be maxed out through PvP, master dungeons, adventure zones, 50+ content, that kind of stuff. And speaking of 50+ content, she did say that the each alliance storyline, each one of them will have around 120 to 150 hours of gameplay, and I believe that's just for the actual storyline, not for like all the side quests and everything else. And I remember them talking about this previously, and they even said that was like the best they could do, and that was like with aids that helped them basically to get through it as fast as they could, and they did that in 120 hours. So for an average player who actually takes their time, who knows, it could be well over 200 per alliance to do.
Easily. I could see spending triple that, because
take your time in Skyrim. Well, depending, because, you know, some people have played 1,000 hours, which is just ridiculous. I have like 200-something hours in there, which, you know, is okay, I guess. Double that, triple that, that's ESO. There you go. Which is crazy. And that was pretty much it for that interview. So let's go into the Clan Fear and look at that and see what that looks like.
New monster.
Very, they say there's an avian influence to it, which... You know, for the layman's, it's birds, basically. They just have kind of like bird...
I'm a layman. I did not know avian influence.
They also sound sort of like birds. They actually took sound samples from birds and made it for this animal. And it is a Daedra, so keep that in mind.
I actually don't remember what sound they made in Oblivion.
I don't remember either.
Bird-like, but...
They're definitely cool looking.
Yeah, and I like how they have their own unique style, a little different from what they look like in Oblivion, which should be exactly right. They almost look kind of bluish to me, which...
Didn't they have, like, overly big heads?
Yeah, I mean, they had big heads, and of course, everybody kind of had, like, weird-looking heads in Oblivion, if we are thinking back to remember. But, yeah, I'm just saying, it's nice that they have their own little defined style as well, apart from what we saw in Oblivion, just because these are Molag Bal's minions. These are his Daedra. They're not Mehrunes Dagon's Daedra, which we saw in Oblivion.
Right.
So it's nice to
have
some
Saurian?
Saurian? Oh, I have no
Daedra,
idea.
I think that's what they call it.
Yeah.
Yep. And, yeah. Pretty cool looking.
That. Yeah, let us know what you guys think about that.
All right, now let's go into the question of the week, or should I say the developer question of the week. Finally doing this. We haven't done this in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, well, they take their time releasing these questions, and they're not always the best. So.
Show.
Hi, I'm Brian Wheeler, the lead PvP designer on Elder Scrolls Online, and this is your question of the week. A call to arms goes out, and every man, woman, and child is efforted into Cyrodiil. Will you join the main ranks and siege castles? Will you go deep into enemy lines and take out the enemy from behind? Or will you simply run around and kill the poor hapless fools rushing into your territory? What will you do to help the war effort in Cyrodiil?
something that I have to point out right off the bat is that he said men, women, and children. Does that mean children are confirmed for the Elder Scrolls Online? You heard it here first, folks. Children confirmed.
Yeah, I don't know if we can call that a confirmation.
Whatever,
There better
man.
be little children running
That's
around.
Brian Wheeler. He is...
He's a PvP god.
He's a PvP god. So he would
I don't know what that has to do with children, but okay.
I always hated the lack of children in the Elder Scrolls games. Oblivion had none. Skyrim only had human
Right?
children.
The population's gonna die out if they only have like 12 children in all of Skyrim.
Maik the liar even commented on that fact that it's like children ruin all the fun or whatever.
I guess.
But anyway, yeah. So apparently children are running into battle in Cyrodiil, which
that'd be interesting to see.
I
I
find
mean, we
very...
can kill them finally
This
without
is-
a mod.
This is a teen-rated game, right? We're not going to be killing children
Yeah, I
in
don't think we'll be
Cyrodiil.
allowed to kill children.
Yeah.
Oh,
So what's the first thing you would do? Give some epic speech, like some epic Lord of the Rings X-esque type speech at the gates of Cyrodiil?
no.
For Frodo!
For Frodo.
The will of men will fall, but it is not this day. This day we fight.
What's with all the Lord of the Rings references?
Because it's Cyrodiil, that's how I imagine these epic, big-scale battles.
At the Black Gates?
Yeah, if you're not picturing it as like Helm's Deep, then what's the point? That's
Sure,
the fantasy
okay.
I'm living out here.
All right.
I mean, is it just me?
Maybe.
So, what's the first thing Kyle's doing?
I'm
He's running
going
into
head
Cyrodiil.
on. If I'm going to be honest, I'm going head on until, like, there is a very necessary reason for me to have to stay and defend a keep. Then I'll do it.
So you're running with what, a Zerg, a guild?
No, I'm definitely going to be going with a well-defined PvP group. I'm not just going to go with the naked Zerg,
Okay.
which might happen in Cyrodiil. We might even start
is
it.
the
I don't
Zerg
know.
naked? Yeah, that's
If
that's
it's
the
our
sho-
Zerg, it better be.
That's the shoddy Zerg if they're naked.
They'll know it's the shoddy Zerg because everyone's naked.
Because everyone's nude.
But, yeah, I'm definitely going head on. What about you?
Yeah, I'm doing it butt naked, and I'm doing it in small groups. Okay, that just sounds
Let me
wrong.
guess. You're doing it butt naked so they won't know, like, what kind of a player you are, because that's really the only way you can tell.
Yes.
Or possibly tell.
That's the strategy. I would rather them not know what class I am and what playstyle I am, and go in with no armor. Yes.
Try to guess what I'm going to do.
That's smart. That's very intelligent.
Awesome.
No, I'm thinking probably how I went about Planet Side, because the more I hear about PvP in Cyrodiil, I relate it more and more to Planet Side 2 every
Yeah.
day, because it sounds very, very similar in the way they're doing it. Only it's swords and magic instead of, guns and tanks. So I like going in the small groups, maybe a group of 3 or 4, usually with friends, and taking out the smaller objectives, which in this case will not be the keeps. It'll be the things surrounding the keeps, like the lumber mills and the mines and things like that. Anything to undermine the big groups that are running around and taking the keeps, that's what I'd like to do. Also, bounties. If they take our advice and freaking put like contracts out on people's heads, I would love to participate in some bounty hunting. Yeah, live out my Boba Fett fantasies would be great.
Oh, show. All right. What would you guys do in PvP? Let us know in the comments below. And now let's go into our community segment, starting off with our Shodians questions. First one is from, oh god, I'm going to butcher everyone's name. Is this Jarv or Yarv? I'm going to go with Jarv.
Okay.
Good evening, gentlemen. In Skyrim and Oblivion, I have shit tons of fun watching the enemies just do stuff and talk. Do you think that will be possible in ESO?
Oh,
So-
I just wanted to hear him talk because it's epic.
So just watching people talk and stuff.
Yeah, like, just think of like the very first dungeon you go, well, I guess it's like a old mine or something you go into when you first start your Skyrim character, when you go into that path
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
to the right.
I know what mine
If you
you're
go
talking
in
about.
there, you're sneaking in there, you'll hear people just have conversations.
Sure, people, they want to make the AI in a way that's intelligent, in a way that looks like, okay, these are actual people. Not only that, but Oblivion started the thing with the Radiant AI system where each NPC has their own schedule and they walk around, they sleep at night and eat and harvest grains during the day. I don't know, they go about their business and they're actually doing stuff. Now, is that going to happen in the Elder Scrolls Online? What kind of AI do they have? Have they confirmed that these citizens of these cities and stuff are actually going to be walking around? Or is it one of those freaking static situations that we see in all MMOs where this same guy apparently doesn't need to go to the bathroom ever because he's in this one place?
I actually think it's going to be a bit of both. Some quest givers and stuff may actually run up to you. Some may just be walking around. I'm going to say most of them are going to be static, though.
Yeah,
I think.
And that pisses me off.
Yeah,
it pisses me off.
It's one of those things that's definitely like a pain in the butt. And I don't want to just go to the excuse that, it's an MMO, it's what they do.
No, because, it's like, what is the limitation? What is keeping them from scripting the AI and having these NPCs actually have their own schedules and do their own things? So the quest giver isn't always in the same freaking place all the time. So that each and every time I level a new character or go through this adventure, I'm finding people in different places than they were before, and
I'm guessing
it feels alive.
They're probably doing just because it makes it easier for the player and for the group players. So if someone has a quest, it's like, where's that quest giver? And then they can say where that person is, and he'll be there.
Yeah,
instead of just walking around, and you'll never be able to get that quest. That's if they don't have like the whole share quest system.
I totally see what you're meaning, but I would do away with that.
No, I agree.
Entirely.
I agree. I would prefer to have dynamic AI.
Not a good excuse at all. Maybe.
Oh, we'll see.
I mean, they don't have to. Maybe they justified it by thinking, okay, there's a ton of real people in the world, and they're going about their own stuff. We don't have to worry about the NPCs so much. But I still I would love to see a real effort put into the AI of this game.
I agree. But as for enemy, NPCs, I have a feeling they will actually be there doing their own thing. You may see one cooking or something, or two of them having a conversation. Whether you can hear them having the conversation, I wouldn't know. But I have a feeling that they will actually be doing stuff before you all of a sudden pounce on them.
Yeah.
So.
We also know these NPCs will all actually say something, at least when you talk to them. They're not like empty husks as well, the people in the cities and stuff.
Yeah, I just mean the actual enemies, though.
Yeah.
Next one is from Lloyd.
Hey, ShoddyCast. I got a question about the differences between swords, axes, and maces. So, is it going to be like where in Skyrim, swords don't do a lot of damage, but are a lot quicker, and maces deal a whole bunch of damage, but are slower? Or are we going to see something totally different in the ESO? Alright, keep up the good work. Thanks.
So, weapons. I honestly... Okay, we know that there's only one skill line for one-handed weapons, and that's pretty much it. And then you have the dual-wield weapons, but it's not separated by weapon type. So whether you have a sword, axe, or mace, they're all going to do the same thing. You're all going to have the same skills.
They all fall under the same skill line, right? Yeah.
But it comes down to the type of enchantment, I guess, you would have on it, or maybe the inherent stats that might be on it. So one may have more damage, I don't know. But also, there may be enchantments on that weapon, like I said, that will maybe increase the weapon speed of it or something like that. Or maybe it'll come down to your passives. Maybe you'll have passives, be it in your armor or racial passives, that make you attack faster. But as for it being down to the weapon itself, probably not. I would say no.
No.
Next one is from Nathan.
Hey ShoddyCast, this is Norse Nate. I have a question about weapon swapping in the game. Do you think they're going to have a cooldown system to keep you from constantly switching weapons or some other type of penalty? Or will you be able to constantly swap weapons, which would essentially allow you to have 12 skills at your disposal instead of just 6? Anyways, love your channel, keep up the amazing work. Oh, and I have something for your queen.
Yeah, we've heard from playtesters already that there is no cooldown on the weapon swap. Well, first of all, you have to be level 15 to even get or unlock weapon swapping, which kind of sucks.
Which I still don't think that should be in there.
Yeah, that's kind of a
weird
dumb restriction. But yeah, there's no cooldown on that. So you burn all of your weapon skills or your damaging skills on your axe mace combo or whatever you have on your first thing. You swap over to your healing staff to heal yourself up, and then you can swap right back to your damaging.
Yeah, and that just feeds in, and I'm happy they went that route, and that's what sets this game apart from a game like Guild Wars 2 as well. It's because they don't want to have cooldowns in this game anywhere, and you can really see that in the game, because from what we've been reading, what we've been seeing, There's no cooldown on the weapon swap. You can do it whenever you want. There's no cooldown on your skills and abilities. The only limitation you're going to be worrying yourself with, and how often you can deal out the damage and actually use these abilities, has everything to do with your magicka and stamina bar. You know, that's what's fueling your abilities, and that's where your management goes into. You want to manage those bars more than anything else. And then, yeah, as long as you have the magicka to back this ability up, switch to that weapon set, use that ability or whatever. You know, it's very fast paced, and that's the only restriction you have, which is very welcomed. I have to say, so refreshing to see in an MMO.
Yep, so you could definitely think of it as, yes, I have 12 abilities available at my disposal at all times, not just 6. Because every time you swap that weapon, you got a brand new bar that you can put skills into.
Absolutely.
Which is awesome. And the final one is from Noah.
Hello, ShoddyCast. My question is, could a crime system even work in an MMO? I mean, am I going to have to sit in line to steal a sweet roll? Or is it just going to be there for a person who hasn't stolen it yet, but not for me since I just took it? It's either going to be immersion breaking or game breaking, it seems, because honestly, there's going to be a lot of people in this one guy's house waiting for something to spawn on his table so they can just swipe it right off. Yeah, that's my question, and I can't wait to slay you all merry dogs for the Ebenhart Pact. This has been Halon. Goodbye.
Oh, it's so cute. He thinks he's gonna kill us and our queen.
Right. So, yeah, the whole crime system, I'm not exactly sure what Noah thinks the crime system will be. It's not like it's going to restrict people from just stealing stuff. I mean, you can still steal stuff if it's there, but then, of course, there's going to be repercussions once the crime system's there. So it's not like it's going to... I'm not sure how he thinks it's going to, like, have a line of people waiting to steal stuff. I'm not sure what
I think he's imagining, like, what if there's this shop with a sword on the table and everyone knows this sword spawns there? Will everyone just line up and wait for that one sword just so they can keep snatching it and then, like, sell it somewhere? I think that's...
Okay. Well, I can pretty much guarantee from playtesters I've heard that none of, well, at least from what they've seen, none of the stuff you can take is really worth all that much. Maybe a few gold here or there. So no one would really just wait there to take something.
Yeah.
I mean, there may be a difference when we're talking about chests to be picked and stuff. If there's good loot there, people know, well, then maybe they'll wait for that to respawn. Because we know that chests spawn in the same spot over and over again. But yeah, for items on the table, no one's just going to sit there and wait for it to spawn. There's no reason for it, really, at all.
Yeah, and even if that was a problem, they would just increase the timer. Like, that's all a developer issue. They would increase the respawn timers on those things to where it would never be worth to stand there and wait for an item. Yeah, that's all balancing, and that's something that the developers have to worry about, not really us, unless they, break something, which wouldn't be good. But yeah, there you go.
Faux show. So if you guys have a question for us, go ahead and send them to mailbox@ShoddyCast.com. If you have text-based questions, if you could please send those to our Twitter or Facebook accounts instead, because there I pretty much answer all questions asked. So yeah, and I'll also usually feature those on a weekly article on our site. I kind of didn't do it this week because I was busy, but yeah, I'll do it next week.
Ooh, tisk. But yeah, check those articles out if you haven't. There's been some articles posted to the site more and more frequently now, so yeah, go and check them out.
And now it is time for our sponsors of the week. First off, I just wanted to announce that we reached 80% of our goal of $5,000, which is amazing.
Yes.
So thank you guys for that. Keep in mind that will go towards mainly our story time series that we're doing. It's about once a month, right, that we release something. That's kind of what we're shooting for. So we have a couple artists working on a few different things. So yeah, we have to pay them.
Yep. As well as little side projects in the works, which we have not told you guys about yet. Just trust me when I say that money's being being put to good use. Let's just say
things will be improving, definitely, for the ShoddyCast channel. So look forward to that as we do. All right, so let's go into the donations for this week. Starting off with Julianos Johansson. And then, hello, Mark Dixon.
Hermaeus Mora.
I don't think I'll ever get old of that one. That was pretty funny. New person by just the name of B Black. Thank you.
B Black.
Sir, maybe? Timothy Ellis.
Timothy Ellis. I'm sorry, but the Dragonborn, you are not anymore. I'm trying to speak like Yoda, it's just not working. Anyway, you're ascending now to godhood, so congratulations to you. What age have we yet to do? Maybe a little RK action. I'm
sure,
it's gotta be
man.
It's gotta be a dude. I won't make you a chick. I won't make you kin earth or anything like that. How about we do something like RK, the god of death. I made him an old man because, you know.
And he was doing a motion like he was using a cane, which you can't see.
But you can't see my cane, but I have one because I'm RK.
Hey.
RK with a cane.
All right, congratulations there, Timothy Ellis. You're now an old man.
Yeah. So thanks for all your money and all your generosity. Here, you're an old man now. We appreciate it.
Oh,
seriously
man.
though, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Next one is from a new donor. Oh, you have a long name there. Michael Anderson Peterson.
A middle name and everything?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Thank you, sir. Another donation from Gustav Brindal. Hopefully
Yes.
that's close to accurate.
Thank you, Gus. Let us know how Chicken Pollos or whatever it's called is going.
Was it Pollos Hermanos?
Yeah.
Another new donation from Donald Stevens. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Donald.
And another one from Andrew Forrest, another new donor. Look at all these new donors. Look at these guys. Justin Sudicum.
Justin, the Greybeards have called you up to High Hrothgar. You are no longer a mere mortal. No, you, sir, are Dragonborn.
Interesting. Now you gotta do it all over again for Chris Reynolds.
Chris Reynolds, the Greybeards have also decided that you, too, are ascended to Dragonborn. So congratulations on your new Dragonborn status.
Oh,
Very good.
That was so worth it.
I think that's the first time there's been two Dragonborns at one time. That's totally lore breaking, so I apologize for that. How about those Dragonborns have to duel to the death? Just shout at each other until
This isn't
one
Highlander.
falls apart.
There can be only one. New donation from Gene Hammonds, who says, my guild name is the Argonian Brotherhood, and it is an Ebonheart Pact guild that is opened to Argonians only. You can get more info at our Facebook page, the Argonian Brotherhood.
I have to say, it's so nice that we're able to do that. And the only reason guilds like that I think can exist in this game as opposed to some other MMOs out there is the fact that we can join multiple guilds.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
Simon Hansen returns. Hello, sir.
Dragonborn.
All right, so he says, a shout out that the Cross Game Guild, the Mercenaries of Gold, is recruiting. You can find them at mercenariesofgold.engine.com. And he says, thanks for the great videos and keep up the good work. And that's from Mitsurugi, the Dragonborn Argonian.
Hey, thank you for watching these great videos, man.
Right. Pat on the back. Anyways, another donation from William Van Scoy. Hello again. He says, ever wanted to roll in piles of gold?
Hey, you know what? Yes. Yes,
You know, yes,
I have
I
wanted
have.
to do that.
This one can assist you here. The Caravanners of Elsewhere are the PC-only, Khajiit-only guild with the opportunity to give you the greatest gift of all, coin. Find them at caravannersofelsewhere.guildlaunch.com. And you may... what does it say? And may your roads lead to warm sands.
You have gold, Khajiit has wares.
Laurel Graham, hello there, new donor, and he says, keep up the good work, guys. Love your work.
Showering in praise. I love it.
Martin Hirschner.
Dragonborn.
And of course, his Daggerfall Covenant Guild, TamrielTradingCompany.com there is for you, so go check them out. See what they has to do. And then hello, Lily Klein. Welcome. She says, you may not know who we are, yet we have been watching you. We are the Faceless, agents of High King Emmerich in the Daggerfall Covenant. Let the Scold King cower in fear and the Queen face a slow, painful death at our hands. Join us as brothers and sisters in arms at thefaceless.engine.com.
Blasphemy. Blasphemy. But I do have goosebumps right now.
And this one you'll actually have to read, so...
Oh, I have
fun.
to read
They
the
requested that you would read that, so have fun with that one. This one's from Adam Bliss.
Oh, gosh. Oh, man. I don't even know how to pronounce the first word.
Dragon.
Dragon is recruiting a division of the Sanguine Nation, MGC. Dragon prides itself on quality over quantity. Our members are MMO as well as Elder Scrolls veterans, and all desire the same thing, community. We pride ourselves on our family feel, with active forums and an active TeamSpeak, as well as being totally PVX with light RP. Did they mean PvP? What's PVX?
I think PVX means both PvP and PvE.
Oh, nice. Members are free to go between our PC gaming divisions while we await this amazing game, including League of Legends and Final Fantasy 10 billion. I can't read that nomen ruminal. It's too long.
14.
Final Fantasy 14. If you are looking for not just any guild, but a place to call home, drop off an app at www.bloodispower.com. The Ebonheart Pact needs us, and that means we need you. Thank you. I'll be here all week.
And that is it for our sponsors of the week. If you would like to be a sponsor for the ShoddyCast, over to ShoddyCast.com. You will see a donation button on the right-hand side. If you donate $10 or more, you can leave a promotion for us to read or butcher through as we have done today. And I want to just mention, some people were having issues with not finding that whole box to put in their little comment thing. The very last page before you actually send the donation, there's a little link somewhere in there that says... add special instructions or something to the seller. That's what you'll click to open up the box, and then you can type to your heart's content. Keep it kind of short. This last one was a bit long, so yeah, shorten it there, Mr. Adam Bliss, please. And yeah.
Hey, epic words should have no limits. Yes, any and all contributions to the ShoddyCast go right back into the ShoddyCast, not into our own pockets. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been listening/watching the ShoddyCast channel. Thank you so much for tuning in for this episode of ESO Weekly. I have been Josh. Don't forget to tune in on Saturday for the next installments of the Elder Scrolls lore series. We will be talking about the Khajiit and their many, many different forms. Everything from the unassuming house cat-like Alfiq to the battle cats of elsewhere. It's going to be exciting. So be sure to tune in for that. Again, I have been Josh. Don't forget to like and share.
Oh man, you were just throwing a whole bunch of things after your name. And I am Kyle.
And don't forget to remember the Chalamo. We'll catch you later.
Boy.
Yes, my Eek loves books and loves the ShoddyCast too. Why not kill many birds with single stone and click the Audible link in the description below. Choose any audiobook from thousands for free. You must trust my Eek on these things.